Thank you, Jessica, and welcome everyone. We are streaming live on Zoom, on Instagram and Facebook, and we've had hundreds of people register for this evening. So I just want to thank all of you for being here, and I also want to share that we love being part of the Empire family. We've been part of the alumni for many, many years. And the purpose for this seminar, specifically Vision to Victory, that we're going to be talking through today, was because of you. You asked so many questions at our shows when you reach out to us. And so we really wanted to make sure you had the tools to be successful in your medical aesthetics practice. So let's dive in. Inspiration Management has been here for the last 23 years, helping medical professionals like yourselves reach success the quickest way possible. Our founder, Dori is our fearless leader, and myself, I am Sharon Otaguro, your vice president. So what are the steps that we're going to be going through this evening? Well, first we're going to go through industry statistics. Why is it a great time to be part of the medical aesthetics industry, and what does it mean for you? Going through some planning and strategies. How are you going to get from vision to victory, and then making sure that we are compliant with all laws and regulations. We're going to then dive into the fun stuff, the marketing, the branding, and how are you going to generate sales. One of our specialties is helping you achieve 7 figures to start and then multiple 7 figures. And to do that, you need to know your numbers. So I know that in medical school you weren't taught business, but tonight you're going to learn what are those key numbers that you need to know so that you can achieve your goals and your dreams. Part of that is hiring a high-performing team. You can't reach multiple millions by yourself, and therefore that is going to bring us into success. So a little bit about Dori Sukup, our founder. Dori is a global speaker, 4-time published author, and she created a successful business model. The way to achieve success without costly mistakes and the quickest way possible is following a proven success model. The first time that Olympic athlete broke the world record was when nobody thought it was possible. But do you know that after that world record was broken, literally within 2 weeks, it was broken again and again, 4 and 5 times. And it's because once you know how to achieve success, you can do it simply and effectively. So that's what we're going to talk about this evening. But first, we want to talk about you and understand who are we speaking to tonight. So I'd love to take a poll, and if you can put in the chat, number 1, put number 1 in the chat if you are still in the decision-making process. I'm thinking about it, I know I want to get out of the hospitals, but I'm not quite sure if I am ready to take the leap. 2, if you are about to open, so you're already in the planning. And 3, if you are open, you're already starting your medical spa journey. So as you're putting it into the chat, and we have our team here, so we have Danny, Brooke, Esther, and John. So please, again, put your questions in the chat, put your comments so that we can help you and we know exactly what you're looking for out of tonight's webinar. But as you're putting that in, let's talk about the industry. So it is a great time to be in the medical aesthetics industry. We are a $15 billion a year revenue and employing 70,000 medical professionals in our industry. So you're making an amazing impact into the economy. But that's not all. The best time is to be in an industry when it is growing at double digits. And the med aesthetics industry is growing at 14+% annually. So although you may think, all right, there's a medical spa that's opening around the corner every single day, that's true. But that's great news because it means there's a higher demand for our services. So I want you to know that it's great to have competition, and it's important to differentiate yourself by your positioning. All right, so lots of medical spas, 8,500 already open, and you are going to be adding to that number. And the annual revenue of a medical spa is 1.5 million. So that's exciting, right? We're getting to 7 figures. That's actually one of our specialties at Inspiration Management, is helping you achieve your first 7 figures. But beyond that, in order to truly get the lifestyle that you're looking for, I want you to be at the multiple millions, because the average profit margin of a medical spa is only about 10%, a high-performing spa at 20%. So you didn't get into this and start your own practice to only make a six-figure income. So we need to think big, and in order to do so, we need to reverse engineer success and have a plan. And we get asked this question a lot. So what are the startup costs? Well, you do want to plan for between $200,000 and $300,000, but that also depends. So as we talk through tonight, I want to know, what are you thinking about? What is the size of the location that you're looking at? We have some members that are members with us and started at a single salon suite. So you could open maybe at 30, 40,000, but if you are building out, doing renovations and developing your own space, then of course you want to think bigger. And that's without lasers. So when you talk about lasers, now we have members that are up in the millions of dollars of investment, which if you have a plan, can build success very quickly. Without a plan, we're just dreaming, right? So let's hear from the audience. How many of you are about to open, ready to open? Where are we?
We've got about 16 people that I can see that are saying number 1. So they're thinking about it. Number 2, we've got about 4. And then we have about 7 people that are open.
Excellent, great. And a lot more?
On Instagram, yeah, we have some ladies over here. We have Nino on with us, and she's planning on opening very soon.
Nino, so one of our newest members, and she's actually going through a whole multi-phase opening with us. She just closed on her property this week. So Nino, congratulations. She is on her way. All right, so let's talk about how do you set the plan for success. And it's really great that many of you are still in the thinking process, because this is going to give you a lot of clarity about what to do to avoid those costly mistakes. All right, and the first step is having a vision and a plan. It seems simple, but it's not as simple as just saying, all right, I'm tired of the hospitals. I want to get into my own career. I want to make my own money. You have to think, all right, what is the vision that I have? What is the concept? How am I going to differentiate myself? What are the treatments that I offer? What is my location? So all of those aspects are really, really important. And actually, we just held this seminar in February, our Vision of Victory, but we have a whole A to Z guide so that you know first, second, third, what are the steps to planning your success, okay? So this is what it takes to plan for. First is the vision, as we talked about that concept. What are you trying to achieve? Is it more holistic? Is it all about aesthetics? Is it only face? We actually have a member. They are doing $300,000 every single month in revenues, and they are from the shoulders up, so face bar. So what is that unique concept and unique selling position that you have? Then what are the financials? So how am I going to fund it? Are you going to be self-funding? Are you going to take out a loan? That's going to differentiate whether you need a full business plan or if you can go with a 2-3 page document on how am I going to achieve my revenues, how am I going to market, who is my target audience, all of that. So you need to know, what am I coming into, what am I projecting as my startup costs, and then that's going to help you determine what location, what size of team, all those factors. So that's the first part of the numbers. You have to do your market research, okay, because yes, there are medical spas opening every single week. But guess what? There's medical spas closing every single week as well. So the more you do your due diligence, the better prepared you are for success, the better your chances to beat that 1 out of 10 ratio and achieve your vision and your dream. You need a business model to do that. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but if you don't know, how am I going to create a guest experience, get recurring revenue, achieve a long lifetime client value, those are some of the terms that we talk you through and help you achieve, then you don't really have a plan. You have a checklist, right? And we really need to follow a business model in order to achieve sustainable success. How do we do that? The fun part is the marketing and sales. And there's a lot of hype about, I can fill your marketing, I can fill your medical spa. But I want you to know the fundamentals. And our firm firmly believes in making sure that we teach you how to fish. You've heard that analogy, right? Do I give you a fish or do I teach you how to fish? So I want you to have the strategy and the tools to be able to know what you need to do so that you can market and sell your business. And then you're ready to launch. All right, so this is some of the market research we've put on the board for you. So please go through some of these resources and understand, how am I going to find the data? And there's so much available to you now. So take advantage, make sure you do your due diligence, because the better you plan, the quicker you're going to achieve success. We have a question.
Okay, so from Jamie, they're asking, should I do the LLC now if I'm planning to open next fall / next year, or should I wait?
So that's a great question. So you want to, of course, have your LLC as soon as you know what business you're going into. And we'll talk about this a little bit later. What is the team that you need around you? Your attorney, your market research, your marketing, all of that. So as soon as you know what you're looking to do, it doesn't hurt. It costs very, very little to establish an LLC. But most importantly, you want to understand that your domain, your name is protected. Okay, so when you think of your concept and your name, go on GoDaddy or Namecheap and see, is that name secured in your area? Is it available for you? And then can you establish your business entity and your business name? Because a lot of times, actually we've had this, there's a lot of med spas that have Luxe or Beauty or other names that are general. So you want to make sure that you are able to secure your name before you dive into that process. So great question. Any other questions? All right, perfect. So do your research. Then the other aspect here, once we go through all of what we're looking to achieve, is the experience. And this is so important, you guys. This is actually one of the most important things for you to be able to differentiate yourself. What is the experience and the brand that I am trying to create? Right? Because let's be frank, every medical spa offers primarily the same services. You're gonna have your Botox, your fillers, your facials. So the way that you stand out is by that experience. And our philosophy, and therefore what you should consider, is who are the few people that I want to keep for years and years, versus trying to be the Walmart of the medical spa industry and pricing yourself, we call it the price war games, pricing yourself out of business. So you need to know, what am I going to be able to do that's profitable, and what is my experience that nobody else can do as great as I can. And then that ties into your treatment options. So deciding whether you need lasers up front, which by the way, we don't recommend necessarily, again, depending on your vision, but if you are bootstrapping it, you don't need to consider multiple six-figure equipment investment. You just need to have the proper positioning and business model to achieve your vision. Yes, another question.
So another one regarding LLC. This person is saying, I have a medical practice already. Do I need to create a new LLC for my med spa, or can I practice under the same one?
So we're actually going to go through this a little bit in the regulations as well. You want to make sure that your medical spa has its own identity. So depending what your scope of practice, and I would have to learn a little bit more from you on this, but depending on the scope of practice, you want to understand, is it possible, and what is the liability component of that medical spa? More than likely, you're going to want to create your own LLC. But I encourage you to seek out your attorney and understand exactly what that looks like for you. And then actually the best thing is to reserve a success planning session. So you'll see it at the very end, but you can go to inspirationmanagement.com. And we believe in giving first and then helping you achieve your success. So there are many, many free tools there, but you can reserve a success planning session and speak to one of our business advisors, and they can help you see exactly what you need for your business. So great question. Yes, go ahead.
In Texas, is it possible to start the business from your home if adapted nicely?
You know, I don't recommend it. We have had members that do open in your home, so it's possible, absolutely. But you want to set yourself up for success, right? So I understand that you want to be conscious of your investment going in, but you're going to have strangers coming into your practice. You want to create a separate and professional, because you guys, we are looking at the luxury disposable income clientele, right? So when you think about who am I attracting, is it your friends and family that are going to come to your home? No, it's going to be the luxurious, well-to-do, affluent clientele that you want to greet at a beautiful establishment. So there are places and firms that will help you find your location, and it doesn't cost you anything to look and see what are my options. And that's part of the market research is, where is my clientele located? You want to be within a 5-mile radius of who you're targeting. So I wouldn't recommend it. Yes, it's possible, but if you can, I would put it in the place that you're going to be able to attract the best clients. All right. So this is what we talked about a little bit earlier, but you need a team around you. So making sure you have all your legalities taken care of is really important. Your business consultant. You know, anybody trying to achieve superstar success, whether it's sports teams, Olympic teams, even business moguls, all of them didn't get to the top without help. So finding the right advisors and core team is critical. Having your medical spa consultant, your financial consultant, your real estate agent if you're looking for a space, and then your design as well is really important. And then don't underestimate your friends and family. Just make sure you know which area of support they are in, because they don't understand the stresses that you're going through. They're not a med spa business owner or soon to be. So they're there for your emotional support, and that's really important, but you also need the rest of your team for your professional support as well. All right? And then you need to plan your space. So are you gonna buy or build? Are you gonna rent? This is the big differential in terms of that multiple hundreds of thousands or multiple tens of thousands for your investment. What is the size? You can do a lot in 1,000 square foot space. Actually, we have success stories, and you probably have heard of many of them. They're influencers in the space now that have achieved $1 million in their first year out of one room. So it's very, very possible. And you need to follow the process. So knowing what size, whether it's a retail space, so you have foot traffic or non-retail, what are the build-out costs, understanding your competition, the affluent areas and zip codes, and then also who you're going to recruit. This is a mistake that people make is, all right, I built a beautiful remote location and then nobody wants to drive to work there. So think about all these factors as you're planning the space for your medical spa practice. And then this is one of the gifts that you can find on inspirationmanagement.com. It is our revenue calculator. So if you look here, it is the average revenue per treatment times the number of rooms, and you can achieve multiple millions so quickly. So you need to know, what is my potential? What is my vision? And how am I going to achieve the lifestyle that I deserve through the services that I offer? All right. Did we have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
We do. Why is it so important to have an attorney, and where to find a good one that is affordable in NYC?
Oh, actually, so New York City is perfect for our referral. So we work with many different groups, making sure that you are compliant and legal in your area. And Lingia Law, they actually cover many, many states. But you want to find the attorney in your area, and we found them to be very, very successful. They actually spoke at our last event as well. So it's important to have an attorney for many reasons. You are offering medical services, right? So it is not just a simple relaxation experience that you're offering. And there's liability attached to it. So you want to make sure that you are compliant in setting up your business, in all the forms that you need to use, etc. So we'll go through that a little bit later, but that is a critical team member as you're building out your vision. And this is Lingia Law. So you can go to inspirationmanagement.com. They're on our resource page, and Sarah Schickman is our managing partner. So she actually offers complimentary 15-minute consultations with you, so you can see what are the requirements in my state. And it's important because you need to first know, first of all, what is my scope, right? So some of you may be nurse practitioners, RNs, some of you may just be entrepreneurs. You have to know, in my state, in my location, am I even able to own the medical spa, or does a medical director have to own that practice and then I can own the assets, the facility, etc. So reach out to Lengia and they can help you with exactly what you're able to do and what you should be doing in your area. And we're seeing a lot of growth, you guys. We talked about that. 13% growth annually, and it's going to be a $53 billion industry by 2027, heading towards the trillions. The biggest growth that we've seen is dentists, actually, recently. We're getting calls every single day at Inspiration Management from dentists. And I believe Empire as well is creating a whole program for them, getting into the medical aesthetics side, right? And actually, day spa owners is the next one, adding the clinical services onto the relaxation services. So make sure you know what you can do, and then you can start to plan and create the financials. And so the advice that we would give is checking all of your process, from the consent forms, your liability coverage, your business scope of practice, all these things you need to do. And we have many of these resources for ourselves as well, but make sure you do your due diligence, because that is that setup part that can really bite you later if you don't do that up front. All right? Excellent. So let's dive into the marketing of your medical spa practice. Oftentimes, marketing is the afterthought. You spend so much time planning, creating your services, getting yourself ready, and then all of a sudden we get a phone call and you've quit your job, you're ready to start, you've rented your space, and we say, okay, how are you going to generate leads? And we get crickets. Well, you can't do that, because now is when you need to start operating and you need clients in order to do so. I'm going to go back here to the capacity calculator. So the important aspects here is not just the revenues that you can generate, but the number of clients that you need in order to be able to generate those revenues. So how are you going to bring in hundreds of individuals every single month? And what is that process that you're going to do to achieve that? Right? Oftentimes we get the answer of the first 100, but after that, how are you generating? Are you tracking? Do you have a CRM system? All of these things are very, very important. And it all starts with your website. So have you thought through the website and the branding? So this is not something that I want you to cheapen out on and just go on Wix or GoDaddy and try to build your own. It takes a lot to know what is the SEO, the search engine optimization, so that when people search for you in your area, you come up top on the search fields. What are the opt-ins that you have, the offers, and how are you capturing your leads? You know, it takes 7 touch points minimum, and now it's actually increasing because we're all scrolling so much on our phones and our websites, etc. It takes at least 7 touch points for someone to be willing to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars with you. And medical spa services are not cheap. So how you differentiate yourself and how you show up on those fields is critical for you to generate and convert your clients into paying guests. So the website is really important, having a menu brochure, and then of course your business cards. Now, I don't want you to just have business cards with your name on it. Do you have an offer on your business cards? You see, every single touch point, every conversation now as a business owner for your medical spa practice should be telling the story of the vision and the change and transformations that you create. Yes?
All right. Do I have to start out with a marketing team, or can I do this on my own? Wow.
That's a great question. So we always recommend that you bring on an internal marketing person, because let's be honest, you have so many hats that you're wearing, right? You're the business owner. Many times you're also the injector provider. You are the financial officer. You are XYZ, you're the front desk, you're answering the phones, you're doing all of the different things. And that's not to mention your personal hats that you're wearing if you have a family, etc. So marketing is very, very specialized, and it changes on almost a daily, if not hourly basis now with AI. So having a plan to hire your marketing person is really important, because they will be responsible for your social media, your blogs, your newsletters, updating your website, all of these things. So you can start off on your own if you have the proper tools and structure. And by the way, we have a whole marketing plan and marketing program for you to be able to dive in to get started. But very soon, when you're generating the revenue, I would rather you be in the room getting those high ticket sales than trying to create emails and social media posts, etc. So that's a great question. All right, so very soon, hire your internal marketing. And by the way, all of your team that you hire, you need to compensate appropriately. So we believe in a performance-based pay system. So make sure you're not just going off of high hourly, or a lot of these agencies, they have retainers. You need to know exactly what you're getting, and you need to know marketing enough to be able to direct them so you're not just at the mercy of what they think is going to generate leads for you. Okay? So all of these materials you need to do to create your experience, create your brand, and be consistent. I hate when you walk in and you have a treatment and then all of a sudden you're purchasing retail and they give you the bags. Have you seen those with the product that you're purchasing? Now you're promoting their brand, not yours. So it's important that you create that vision for yourself and know this is for the long run, okay? So having all these tools is critical. And then let's talk about differentiation. So this is the difference when you have 5 medical spas in a 2-mile radius of yourself. How you position yourself is critical. And this is Dr. Kirshner. She's one of our longtime members. She actually has published multiple books with us now. And can you imagine if you have a choice between a medical spa, XYZ, and then a published author? Who are you going to choose? Who do you think is more expert? Obviously the published author, right? So having that positioning, how you share your transformations, the other ways that you can do it, your testimonials. Are you getting testimonials even now where you're getting your classes and you're starting to practice on other individuals? You should. And there's a process to ask for the testimonial. So they're not just saying, oh, she was amazing. She was so sweet. That's not what you want to show. It is, wow, I was tired, I had fine lines and wrinkles, and then look at me after. Working with Julia was the best thing I ever did because now I look amazing, right? So having your testimonials, positioning yourself and your expertise, not what school you went to, what medical college you went to, right? But how you are committed to bringing out the natural beauty with the least downtime. That's the story that we want to tell. And then having case studies to show social proof, you guys. That is the best way that you're going to get clients, is not by your words, but by your clients' words, by the stories that they tell of what you did and how you combined your trainings and your treatments to achieve the results that they're looking for. And then how, therefore, in the future do we position the team as well? So we have a seminar that talks about how you market yourself effectively, and we're going to share it at the end. But you got to start marketing now, even while you're planning for your medical spa. And marketing is simply telling the story, building attraction and leads and influence. And then the sales, which is coming up next, is how do you deliver on that promise? All right, so you got to dive into marketing. So can I have a commitment? Everybody is part of the marketing team now?
Woohoo, yes, we have some waves coming in.
Yes, good. So every one of you is marketing. And then as you continue to grow, then you'll build your team. So this is really the whole business model. And we showed this at the very beginning. But if you don't have a plan for your success, then your goal is, again, just a dream. There's no plan, right? So how do you implement? First, it's that positioning that we talked about. I know what my concept is, my space, my financials, all my investments. I have a marketing strategy, so I know I'm going to do online social media, but I'm also going to do business to business. I'm going to do some postcards. I might do a billboard. All these things we walk you through, but having that strategic marketing plan. And then the lead management. So it's all well and good to have posts out there, but if you're not generating leads and capturing the information, then you have nothing. I tell you, this is one of the biggest heartbreaks that I have when I start working with someone and they've been in business for maybe a year or two, and then our team asks them, okay, so how are you generating new leads? Oh, well, I do posts and I go live and, I had a flyer or a newsletter. Okay, so how large is your database? How large is your email list? Oh, I don't know. Is that you? Because if it is, I need you to start capturing those leads. Again, those 7 touch points to achieve the trust and convert your prospects into clients. Okay, so having a lead management process is very, very important. And then how do you convert them? It's through the consultation process. We have a very specific process. I know many of you say, oh, well, we do consultations. But a consultation is not checking their skin in the treatment room before you do your injectables. A consultation, we believe, is getting to know them. What are the goals? What is the special event that they're planning for? What are they going to do if they don't commit to this? How long have they been waiting, right? Getting to know everything about them and then creating a customized plan based on your experience to help create that transformation. This is where we get our members. Actually, we just celebrated Dr. Walters. She is our most recent published author. And she now has every single new client coming in mandated for a get to know you consultation. And she has multiple thousands of dollars for every new client. Wouldn't you love that? Of course you would. So that's the process that then leads into the experience. How are you consistently creating the structure and the touch points so that you deliver every time, that your clients get the services and the home care that they need? By the way, retail is a huge profit component, so make sure you have that planning as well. And then how do we maintain them? Which is through a membership program. If you haven't thought through how are you generating recurring revenue so that we have members at 6 figures every single month in recurring revenue alone. If you don't think about how are you maintaining that experience and bringing them back in month after month, and I don't care, you guys say, well, they don't get injectables but every 4 months. It doesn't matter. You have peels, you have facials that are just hydrating facials, you have home care, you have body sculpting, you have so many different things that you can offer. So we can't just leave it at the injectables, right? Or the medical weight loss, which is one of the biggest trends, by the way. So if you haven't thought through that component, Oprah just did a special. So this part and modality is going to be really growing our industry tremendously. You have to think through everything about that client, or they're going to get what they call Ozempic face, right? So make sure that we are not just addressing what they come in for, or we're just being order takers, but we're addressing what they want to achieve and creating a plan for that. All right? And this is a really fundamental medical spa business principle that I want you to really, if nothing else, you take away this. And it is the VPG, the volume per guest. So our volume per guest is a very simple formula. What is our total revenue divided by the number of clients, and therefore what is the average in services and retail? So look at this, you guys. If every single client that you see comes in and spends $700, do you think you can achieve success quickly? Of course you can. So knowing what is my volume per guest, every person I hire, what is the goal for their volume per guest? It's going to help you make sure that you are profitable out of the gate, okay? And what this tells us is every client coming in, I'm focusing on what they need, not what they said they thought they wanted. And I'm being consistent in making sure that between visits, they are also committing to their transformation with home care, with a treatment plan, and a long-term vision of what they want to achieve. So that's really important. All right, I hope you're writing it down. And then let's dive into the financials. So any questions so far on the marketing, the business planning? How are you getting to your plan for success? Yes.
Yes, if I'm already open in business, how can I implement the VPG model within my business?
Oh, it's so simple. So that's a great question. So all you need to do on a daily basis, and we believe in system, structure, strategy, solution. So everything has a process to it. Okay, so I want you to love, love, love process from now on. So if you're already open and you're looking to establish the VPG, you take your daily total revenue divided by the number of clients, total retail revenue, and you have the number. So where did I go to it? Total number of revenue for the day, let's say it's $10,000. How many clients? 10 clients. Your VPG for services would be $1,000. Retail the same, and then you have your total. Once you start tracking that, you'll see, am I performing as an average spa, $1 million a year? Maybe not even that, I'm achieving that. Or am I above that? And then you can start to strategize, create plans, and start to incentivize your team to be able to achieve that. Create the offers to be able to achieve that. I want you to think about multiple modalities, you guys. So I know many of you are just starting out, but think through what are the simple modalities that work together. Botox and fillers, and threads, and facials, et cetera, et cetera. And that's gonna raise your VPG and your profits. Great question. Any other questions? Yes.
We have a few questions. So one of them is, what's a good number of rooms for a new startup?
So it all goes back to that vision, you guys, right? And having a business plan. But an average, if you have 1,000 square feet, maybe 3 treatment rooms. And by the way, you have to have a separate area for your consultation. We talked about that earlier, and a good space for your retail. But 1,000 square foot would be a really nice multiple $1 million operation, so you can grow into that. If you're smaller and you want to just start out, you could still, we talked about a suite, rent a space to get started. So it really depends. I would say, again, reserve a success planning session with one of our team members so we can help you and we can see how are you funding it? What treatments do you want to offer? Where are you located? And that's really going to determine what should be the right amount for you. All right, excellent. So let's dive into finances. You need your startup and your operational budget. So we get asked this question all the time. How much should I set aside once I've opened? Because your grand launch, that's your starting line, not your end finish line, right? So you need at least 6 months usually of operating expenses. That is for your products, that is for your team, your payroll, that is for your marketing. So all these things you need. And we have a whole financial forecasting and budgeting so that you know every expense you have so you don't run out. Oftentimes you spend it on equipment or whatnot, and we find people and now they've bought $500,000 worth of equipment and they come and they ask us, okay, how do I make money? And those laser sales reps are really great. We hear the term your ATM machine a lot. But if you don't have a strategic plan on how you're going to generate and consistently maintain your leads through that recurring revenue, et cetera, then it becomes really expensive really quickly. So make sure you have your operational budget set as well as your startup budget. And then all these areas are going to help you understand, is my plan healthy or do I have some risk areas there? So what is the size? What is that true capacity we showed you earlier? How am I going to fund it? What is my break-even point? What reserves do I have? And again, important, your compensation model. So the tricky thing about the medical spa industry is the compensation has evolved from other business verticals. So your team may come in expecting either high hourly or pure commission, and neither of those are correct. You need to make sure you're protecting your long-term future by having the right performance-based compensation model, right? So if you have any questions about that, reach out to us because actually we've helped many, many people that they've been in business for years and years, but they're not profitable. And the way that you do that is having the proper compensation, the proper cost of goods, so your operating expenses in line, the effective marketing strategies, so that you can be successful. All right. And this is really the proper mix that you should see. So about 25% for your operating, 25% for your product costs, and your compensation only about 35%. And if you are not adding yourself into that and paying yourself, then it's not a full picture of what you want to achieve, right? One of the things that as you're starting out, you should think, okay, what am I going to do with it? Am I going to expand to multiple locations? Am I going to sell it in 20 years? And you need to set it up with that end in mind, and paying yourself is part of that, because you're not buying yourself a job, you're buying yourself a future, right? You're investing in your vision. And that profit should be at least 15%. And if it's not, most likely you are not pricing yourself properly. This is one of the biggest things we fix first is, do you have the right prices? Because you are in the luxury affluent market. You are not the Walmart, right? So I don't want to see anybody under $10 for your toxins. And if you have questions about whether you are priced properly, you're probably priced too low. Okay? So make sure you have the proper pricing and treatment mix so that you come out of the gate with a profitable spa. And then there's the team. So how are we recruiting and retaining a high performance team? So it's really important for you to create an organization chart, and you should lay it out as to what am I wanting to achieve once I am successful. So don't put yourself in every single one of those buckets and wearing all those hats. Make sure you say, okay, I need a sales and marketing person. I need my providers. I need my front desk, guest relations. I need my accounting and bookkeeping, right? So lay it all out, and then you may have to fill some of those spots initially. But if you know that that's the plan, then you can start to predict your revenues and your costs based on that plan. So this is one of our other success stories, Linda Lazaro. They're a high achiever, so we love them because they implement. And they actually just opened their third location. So they're in Pittsburgh. Beautiful, beautiful location. Dr. Lazaro is a plastic surgeon. But they have $1.8 million last year in recurring revenue alone, memberships. So wouldn't that be amazing if you had multiple millions in just recurring revenue, no new guests? That's what you can achieve when you implement the model properly, right? And they've been in business for many years, but again, we've had our members get started. Lux in Canada, a little town in Canada, opened up and they had $50,000 of revenue their first month, right? Ruma, Shelby Miller, has achieved $1 million in her first year, and she worked out of a one-room suite. She's now expanded twice. So it's possible, very, very possible, if you're following a proven success model. And so the team there, they now are working on how are they maximizing their profits, and they're even expanding their consultation process. So I love working with them. All right, so this is more statistics for you on average pay for how you're planning your team and what they should make. And then as we customize a compensation plan for your area, that's what we look at. What is the average wage in that position, in that area, based on experience, expertise, what have they made in the past? And then how do we create a performance-based with base and bonuses that's going to help motivate, incentivize, get them excited, and help you recruit long-term team members. So I just had an interview right before this webinar, and you really want to look for people that are looking for a vision, something that they will be proud of and will be the hallmark of their career. You don't want someone that's just saying, okay, well, I'm here until the next best offer. Right? And recruiting is hard now. So hire slow, fire fast. But first have a clear vision of who you're looking for and what are the expectations and what is a very motivational and exciting pay structure that is also healthy for your business. And then it's preparing to launch. So this is the timeline that you want to look at, making sure you know, all right, what is the equipment, what are the products, how am I getting quotations, recruiting, and then soft opening versus grand opening. So I actually help, this is one of the things I love working with, is the opening process with teams, because oftentimes you think, okay, I now have everything set. I have my equipment, my team, etc. So I'm open. But you got to be strategic about it. And soft opening versus grand opening, it takes planning. And it's not just inviting the chamber or whatnot. It's making sure that you are creating a grand opening that is revenue generating. Your soft opening is for your testimonials, your reviews, and we help you through that whole process. So you're out of the gate with 5-star Google reviews, by the way. And then your grand opening is a revenue generating event. So don't miss out on these important timelines and the important aspects of each, so that you're getting exactly what you need from each event and you maintain an exceptional experience. You create your niche in your market and you stand the test of time. Do we have a question? Yes.
So a couple of questions that are similar. How much financing can one get from the banks to start a med spa? / how much money should we save to actually open a business and keep it running? Or do most people use their own savings and open a business loan?
So it's going to depend again on your situation. But if you're looking to get funding, which if you want to create a nice space and you're not going to be leasing, then you definitely want to look at funding and get a loan, because again, you need this opening startup costs and your operational costs. Then the best way to do that is to have a full business plan. And I'm not talking about going to the SBA and downloading the template and filling it out. You really need to know, all right, what is my feasibility study? What is my competition in the area? What is the mix of services? What is my 5 and 10-year financial projection? And all of those due diligence aspects is going to be what the bank will look at to say, is this a wise investment for them to loan you money? How likely are you to succeed? And it's actually, we've helped a lot of people get funding, because part of following or mitigating the risk, lowering the risk for the banks, is knowing that it's a proven effective business model. And that's what we do. So having the success stories, not just from yourself because you're starting, but from hundreds of other medical spas that have done it before you and follow the exact same process and achieve success, that's what's going to help. So definitely call us and we can help you with that business planning as well. And then in terms of saving for yourself, again, it depends on that concept and that vision. So we actually have the materials from the full seminar, A Vision of Victory, and we can help you decide, okay, what is your potential? Therefore, what do you need, and whether you're going to self-fund or get partial investment, line of credit. There's so many different options. So reach out to us so we can help. But if you have a couple $100,000 to $1 million, we're there for you as well. So, good. Did we have a question there, Danny?
Yes, they wanted to know how we helped with the whole planning and building a business plan. So you kind of answered that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have several specialties. We have a small but mighty team. So each of our team members helps with different phases of your business. So depending on what you need, we can absolutely have a conversation. And normally it's $200 for our success planning sessions. But because Dori, our founder, has been with Empire for so many years, we've actually, she told us to, so we opened up a few spots in our calendar so that you can have that complimentary, and then we can talk through exactly what you need. So, very good. So these are some of the opening tools that you need. You want to have a beautiful experience for them. You want to put your marketing material in those goodie bags. Having giveaways, again, this should be a revenue generating event, and making sure that you are able to go through the entire process. Are you training your team, by the way, right? This whole thing, it's not just all the preparation of planning an event. You have to train the team. What are they going to say? How are they going to get the leads? How are they going to reserve the appointments? So how we do it is through our platform, which is MedSpa Biz University. And when you open your medical spa, you have your roles to play. But by the time you're getting open and you're starting to generate the revenue, it's a lot to then make sure the team is being monitored, trained, recruited. So that's what we do for you, is we help take all of that work and have your team learn, practice, role play, so that they're also able to be successful. So we actually just launched our brand new medspa Biz University. It's so exciting. Check us out at inspirationmanagement.com. But you'll see exactly how marketing team members will be able to do 6-figure events, your lunch and learns, et cetera, how to do social media. And then for you, how to understand the finances. For your front desk team, how do they reserve those consultations so that you can generate those high ticket programs? So yeah, that's really how we make a difference for you and help you bridge those costly mistakes as well. And so we want to extend a special invitation to you. I know that you are having hopefully lots and lots of notes that you've written down, and I'd love to hear some takeaways. But our next seminar coming up, we talked a lot about marketing, is the Advanced Marketing Mastery. And talk about working smarter, not harder. We're bringing AI technology and strategies so that you know exactly how you are going to fill your spa once it's open, how you generate those leads, how you convert those leads, how you maintain your database, and therefore how you build your success once you've opened. So because of Empire, thank you again for being part of Empire. We have a special offer and you're able to save $500 off your ticket. You just need to go to inspirationmanagement.com, and I think we're dropping the link in the chat. And then if you go to seminars, you'll see the Advanced Marketing Mastery Seminar. You'll actually also see the Vision of Victory, which we did in February, specific to just opening. And you can type in the code and get that special offer so that you can get open and achieve your success. So yes. Those are your steps to achieving. As I said, we have the A to Z guide, so please be sure to reserve your success planning session so that we can walk through exactly where you are and what we need to do to help you. And I have just about 5 minutes left, so if there are any questions, I can help with your specific goals. I'd also love some takeaways in the chat. Yes.
Yeah, Cindy here says that it's really helpful for having the modules live on medspa Biz University. She wants to know how long we have access, and is it a month-to-month subscription or a full year?
Absolutely. So there's a few things. So this seminar is actually going to be live in person in Daytona Beach. So you need to come and visit us with your flip-flops and come enjoy an ocean view while you're diving into marketing strategies. So this is an individual event, and then you'll have access for a year to all of the materials. But just as we tell you how to create recurring revenue and long-term success, we have individual programs and we have membership programs. And just like Empire does as well. So teaching you how to fish, we do that through our membership, and you would have access to everything that we offer in our platform, medspa Biz University. So when you need it, it's there for you. We have your guest relations manuals, your marketing plans, your business development, all of those things as well. So I think that was the question, is how long do you have access to the program? This one would be the live in person, May 30th, 31st. And then you'll actually get a whole resource guide and tools. We give you in digital and print format. And then you'll be able to access the training materials for a whole year as well. So, great question. All right, any takeaways? Any other questions?
We do have a couple questions regarding the VPG. Maybe if we could just go over that one more time.
Absolutely. So let me go back. So the volume per guest, was there specific questions or?
Instance that we are in the planning or about to open phase, would the VPG formula projection be based on the initial and operating costs, or are these fixed goal to aim for?
So when we talk about performance-based, it is both your base that you're going to compensate your team with, and then the variable, so the bonuses, is based on how well they achieve the VPG goal. So when you're opening, you want to set a goal for each of these, for each of your team members. And we have different ones for your service providers or your treatments, your injectors and your estheticians, etc. And then different ones for your guest relations, your front desk, so that there's no competition. You know, it's important that you structure your entire compensation plan so everyone is supporting each other. And then each of them will have their goals for either individual performance or overall medical spa performance based on that role that they play. And then once you set those goals, then the base, of course, is your fixed cost. And then the bonuses is how, once they achieve their targets, they're going to be able to be bonused so that your spa grows and they grow. And really, they're paid their true worth because the people that are contributing are really getting their income that they deserve. Great question. Yes.
We have a takeaway.
Absolutely.
So Naomi says, thank you for your webinar. My takeaway was soft versus hard opening and how to approach loans and vision planning.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Yes, and I hope you're already in the opening process. If not, reach out to us so we can help you.
And then we had Chris here, and he says, I'm not really a business owner, but I'm really excited to be one. Do you offer coaching to handheld us through the process of opening our whole spa all together?
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. And so this is part of it, right? To understand, wow, it takes a lot, right? And as you have a vision, I want you to stay focused on why are you in it? You're in it to create the lifestyle, create the transformations for yourself, and you need coaching in order to be able to understand the rest of it, the marketing, the financials, etc. So definitely schedule our success planning session so we can help see exactly what coaching you need and make sure that you achieve that goal that you decided upon right now. So congratulations on opening your own business. So congratulations. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be with all of you. As I say, we do these webinars quite often. So we'll be able to share with you the next one, which is coming up next month. We have marketing, and then we have also your team and how are you bringing out the best in your team as well. So be sure to look out for that. Thank you, Jessica, for being with us. And we'll be able to follow up with some of the complementary tools that we've provided so that you can make sure you are setting your plan and understanding what is your capacity and your potential for your medical spa. So see you again soon, and until next time, stay inspired.